underwater cities in the world. One of the best things about traveling is the sense of excitement as you explore a new place for the very first time. Well, what can be more exciting than exploring ancient underwater cities? The whimsical sunken world with stories of forgotten civilizations, the thrill of literally diving into ancient mysteries. It's the perfect activity for thrill seekers and for those who simply love archaeology. To that end, we've compiled a list of known underwater cities that you can visit in person. Not all of the world's known underwater cities can be explored for leisure, though. There are some that you can only admire from afar. Now let's dive right in. Baiae, Italy. Pompei may be Italy's most famous lost city, but the submerged city of Baiae in the Gulf of Naples is nearly as ancient and, in its heyday, was just as exciting. Before Braticism, wherein the ground is thrust up or down, unlike the horizontal movements typical of earthquakes, caused the city to sink. It was a thriving resort for the A-listers in the Roman Empire. Baiae still attracts travelers. Granted, today's visitors come wearing snorkels or scuba gear. There are 5 main dive sites between 15 and 45 feet at the Underwater Archaeological Park in Baiae, and 8 in total. Villa a Protiro is a must-see with its perfectly preserved mosaic tiling on display. Elsewhere, divers can see remains of thermal baths, marble floors, replica statues, and more. The Centro Sub Campi Flegrei is a dive outfitter that leads tours of the area. Lian City, China. Under the surface of the Xiandao Lake in the Zhejiang province of China lies an ancient city. It's called Xishang, or Lian City, and dates back to the Han Dynasty, from roughly 25 to 200 CE. How Xishang came to be submerged is no mystery. In 1959, it was flooded during the Xinan River Dam project to create the lake in order to power the hydroelectric station. Rediscovered by the Chinese government roughly 40 years later, Xishang was found to be remarkably well preserved, with a network of more than 250 intricately carved archways and stonework, dating as far back as the Ming and Qing dynasties that are still intact today. Outfitters such as Big Blue Diving in Shanghai now facilitate scuba trips. Divers should prepare to descend up to 130 feet, expect low visibility, and come prepared with plenty of light. Atlet Yam, Israel. The Neolithic Atlet Yam of Israel is an underwater city that is full of mystery. Discovered in 1984 off the coast of modern-day Atlet, the sunken city is likely a remnant dating back almost 9,000 years. This makes it one of the oldest known underwater ruins. Despite its age, Atlet Yam is surprisingly well preserved. As you dive among the ruins, you'll be able to spot plenty of everyday structures and architecture, including wells, granaries, and storage houses. Perhaps the most enigmatic thing about this ancient city, though, is the stone circle in the middle of it all. Experts have so far not been able to decipher what the stones were for, with some arguing that they were random formations while others believe it was used for ritualistic purposes. If you ever have the chance to see them up close and you find out what they really were, don't forget to let us know. Cinema, Turkey. The ancient city of Cinema was once a bustling port and trading post nearly 4,000 years ago. Today, it lies beneath the waves off the coast of Kakova, a tiny island in the southwest of Turkey. This ancient underwater city belongs to the Lycian civilization. Supposedly, they were the first civilization to practice a democratic system and the inspiration behind modern democracy. However, before you get your hopes up about exploring this historical city, well, you can't. As a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Simena is a protected area, which means snorkeling and diving are prohibited activities. Thankfully, you can still catch a glimpse of the submerged city, though. During the low tide, you can see some of the stone structures peeking out of the water. Some of the walls and structures of the city are also visible beneath the surface of the water. There are also a handful of boat tours that can navigate the area to allow you a slightly closer look. However, it is still best to admire Semina from land. Port Royale, Jamaica. Now, if you're a fan of pirate tales, then you've almost certainly heard of the legendary Port Royale in Jamaica. Port Royale was once the seat of power of the British government. However, most people know it today as a haven for pirates in the 17th century. In fact, even the famous legendary pirate Blackbeard called Port Royale his home. Unfortunately, an earthquake and tsunami in 1692 saw 2/3 of the port city consumed by the Caribbean Sea. While there were attempts to rebuild the city, a string of natural disasters, fires, and the cholera pandemic continually hampered progress. Another major earthquake in 1907 sealed the fate of this once illustrious port city. While the part of the port that remains above land isn't much to look at, the underwater remains of the sunken city is an absolute diver's paradise. You'll be able to explore the ruins of the sunken pirate city and even learn about its rich history. Don't worry, we're pretty sure Davy Jones isn't lurking in the water. Olis Greece. Given the sheer popularity of the legend of Atlantis, it is practically impossible to talk about ancient sunken cities without mentioning Greece. Even though we do not know yet whether Atlantis is real, there are a couple of ancient underwater cities in Greece that are just as equally beautiful and full of mystery. Olis was once a bustling city of 40,000 people. Now it slumbers beneath the waves of the Aegean Sea. It lies off the northern coast of the city of Crete, and its walls are visible from the shore when weather conditions are optimal. Most experts believe that Olis was a Minoan city that thrived in ancient Crete between 3000 and 900 BC. The demise of Olis was a gradual one that came as a result of rising sea levels. Of course, because of this, not every part of the old city sank. The ruins of a basilica still stand strong on a little island not far away from the sunken remains of the Olis. Olis is one of the Greek underwater cities which you can explore up close. Gulf of Cambay, India. In 2002, an organization accidentally found this ancient city in the Gulf of Cambay, India. This city was discovered during their research on water pollution. The city is submerged under 36 meters of water. After that, in the radiocarbon dating process, the research team came to know that the pottery, constructed walls, and human skeleton which were found are 9,500 years old. The researchers believe that the city submerged underwater due to several melted glaciers. This recent discovery proves that a lot has not yet been discovered. Muang Baden, Thailand. Like China's Xichang, Thailand's Muang Baden is an underwater city that came as a result of construction activities. When Washilongkong Dam was built over Khao Lam Lake in 1984, the water that was displaced gradually flooded parts of the city in Muang Baden, submerging everything from houses and public spaces to a Buddhist temple that likely served as a gathering point in the city, now called the Sunken Temple. Today, this sunken city, which straddles the Thai-Myanmar border in Kanchanaburi province, is a tourist hotspot between the months of March and May. That's because the dry months often cause the water to recede, revealing the ruins of the old city which you can explore on foot. The monastery in particular is a super popular location during sunset among photography enthusiasts. Heracleion, Egypt. Speaking of pyramids, Egypt also has its own ancient underwater city. Heracleion is located northwest of Alexandria, off the coast of Abu Qir. It lies almost 10 meters underwater and was at one point a major trading port in the Mediterranean. Since its discovery in 2000, numerous excavations have been carried out in the sunken city. Plenty of artifacts have been uncovered as a result. These include statues, pottery, coins, and even entire wrecked ships that date back to the time of Ptolemaic dynasty around 300 BC. While no one is allowed onto the site at the moment, there are plans to build an underwater museum to allow visitors to see the sunken city up close. In the meantime, though, you can admire some of the unearthed artifacts in the Alexandria Maritime Museum. And there you have it, underwater cities that you can visit in person. We hope you liked this video. Before leaving, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.